An outbreak of diarrhea caused by a parasite called Cyclospora in produce has risen to more than 4,000 cases, and the FDA and CDC have still not determined a source. As you can imagine, this is causing a lot of concern with all of us. Our consumer reporter, Susan Hogan, has been on the story since it broke and is joining us now with your question. Susan, so many people are really worried about this. Should we stop eating produce altogether, though?
Well, here's the thing. I haven't, right? But I am a little suspect and very careful, right? So here's a few of the suggestions and recommendations from the FDA and the CDC. They say buy whole heads of lettuce because you can peel the outer pieces, right? Also discard those outer leaves that you do if you're doing that, or also if you're doing any things like peeling. You also want to peel your potatoes, peel your carrots, all of that stuff. And then if you can cook your vegetables, that is your best case scenario because that will kill the parasite.
All right. How did the produce get contaminated in the first place? This is the big question here.
Yeah, human feces. So basically poop. So we're talking about cleanliness. It could be out in the farm. It could be water runoff from a lot of rain. It could be people not washing their hands. At this point, they really don't know. It's the growing, the harvesting process as well. And here's what's really interesting. Some of the past outbreaks of Cyclospora have included raspberries, basil, and salad mixes. So those are some of the things, and cilantro as well, that I'm staying away from. That's just because that was past outbreaks.
Okay. Yeah. And I think a lot of people are wondering, because they've been eating produce, how will they know if they have the Cyclospora?
Okay, prolonged watery diarrhea, fatigue, stomach cramps. And if you're feeling any of those, ask your doctor to test for Cyclospora. And then if it is positive, report it to your state health department immediately.
Okay. We know there are a lot of steps, as you mentioned. Yeah. Why don't we know at this point what the source is? Why can't we figure this out?
It is very difficult to trace at this point for anything, because this is not like Listeria, E. coli. This is a parasite, right? And also, symptoms can take up to a week or more to actually feel, so you forget what you ate, right? And this parasite can live in your gut for months. So you may have it and then you get sick and then it goes away and then it comes back. And here's the one thing, it is not transmitted from humans to humans. So if I have it, I can't give it to you.
Okay, that's good to know. All right, talk about timing, Susan, because your latest episode on Susan Makes Sense, which just dropped today, is about food safety, right? Can you tell us about more what we can expect here in your episode?
Of course. So this was about recalls and is our food safe? And I interviewed a mom who lost her little boy to E. coli. She fed him a hamburger, and literally 12 days later, he died. And talking about her and what she's done since his death, and what she wants for changes. And also I spoke to someone who used to work in the FDA, who used to do recalls and outbreaks and was in front of that. What goes on when things like this happen? He tells us about this. It's an eye-opening episode that you definitely don't want to miss.
Very important information. Susan, thanks so much. To watch Susan's full episode of Susan Makes Sense, scan the QR code on your screen. Thank you, Susan.
Of course.